start with prior, like how we ate and how we ignored how we felt and how we ignored like what the calories were in it and like doing things that were that fed into that diet culture, like not eating all day because you were going to eat a lot at night and then overstuffing yourself, going to bed or like drinking on top of it, like all of that.
Cool.
Guess what, guys?
We're not doctors.
No, we are not.
If you're going to be making any major medical decisions, please consult your doctor.
Yes, and that includes diets, exercise, medications, and surgery.
We love you guys.
And we want you to be in our OSLP family forever.
So be careful
and consult
your doctors. Have you heard of ProCare or just have you been living under a rock?
ProCare is the very first bariatric multivitamin to develop a 1-a-day vitamin. That's right, you heard it correctly. One a day. And they also have delicious dark chocolate calciums that are available during the winter months.
That's right. So go to procarenow.com, get your calcium chews, get your multivitamin, and use OSLP for a discount. Are you located in the Florida area?
Well, we have the perfect office for you. Dr. Fridley and his wife, Macy, have created the perfect, welcoming, and safe place for your bariatric journey.
That's right. So click on the link below to start your weight loss journey now. And don't forget to tell them that the OSLP's girls sent you. Welcome back, OSLP family! Welcome back, OSLP family. Welcome.
You are listening to our Sleeve Life podcast, and this is Kelly.
This is Mel.
And as always, we want to remind you guys to go to our website. It is our Sleeve Life podcast.
We have one.
We
Did you
have
guys
one.
know that?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys know that, but we are going to tell you for the umpteenth time that we do.
Yes.
So while you are on there are lots of goodies in there, and it is constantly changing. So you want to be checking back in because there may be new merch items. There may be free digital downloads coming.
Right. There could be events coming. You just don't know.
You don't
when you go on
know.
there, it automatically prompts for you to give us your email. So that way we can send you a newsletter. And we give you a free ebook at the same time.
Correct.
The newsletter is very important because you get to know what we're doing behind the scenes, where we're going. You get like actual discounts before everybody. It's just a really nice way of knowing what's going on with us.
Yes. So. And also while you're on the website, if you go to the top right corner, there will be a button that says become a patron.
That's right.
So when you click on that, you want to pick the $7 or higher because that gives you entry into our Winners Bench Facebook group.
It does. And that's one of our favorites.
It is our favorite. We love being in there because everybody is so welcoming and we do not break each other down. We don't, shake our finger at people that aren't doing things correctly. We just try to help everybody and stay current in our journeys. We have everybody from like ages like early 20s to late 60s. We have pre-op, newly post-op, far out post-op. We have all sorts of people in that group, and we just absolutely love every single one of them. A big benefit is you do get a once a month Zoom meeting with us.
You do, and it's fun.
It is fun.
We go ham. Sometimes I have a little too much fun.
Yes, that I will attest to that. And then if you get the $10 or higher tier, that is the tier that you get a discount code for our pillar tracker. So you actually get a 50% discount on that.
I believe they even just get discounts on merch.
They get discounts on merch. They get just a whole slew of very cool benefits. So you definitely want to become a benchy, as we call them, or even bump it up and become a $10. So
the winner circle.
Yeah.
I
now,
love it.
if you're looking for a free way, Mel, what do they need to do?
We go to YouTube.
Yes.
My goodness, guys. Like literally everything's on YouTube. If I need to fix something, I go to YouTube. I don't even call anybody anymore. So go to YouTube, type in Our Sleep Life Podcast. We're the only ones.
Yes,
and
of course.
go ahead and hit subscribe and the bell because you'll get to see videos every Tuesday that drop. So sometimes it's just me and Cal. Sometimes it's actually with a guest that has to wait through that whole spiel to be on here. One thing I want to touch on, guys, this weekend, we will be at the Bridgerton Luncheon in Florida. JoJo's putting it on. It's going to be a fantabulous time.
I can't wait.
And we're going to go to Disney World while we're there.
We are.
We totally are.
And
so
we're
stay
Disney
tuned.
bounding.
She did get me to Disney bound again. And
I'm so excited.
I'm going to be Buzz Lightyear.
Yep.
And Kelly's going to be Woody.
Yep. I got my whole outfit ready. And then we're going to hop over to Animal Kingdom. And I'm going to be Officer Hops, which if you do not know who Officer Hops is, watch Zootopia. Best Disney movie ever. That's who I'm going to be.
So what would you consider mine when we go over to Animal Kingdom? Because it's Kuna Matata.
Yeah. You're just Disney bounding Lion King.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Because that's my favorite movie.
Favorite Disney movie?
Favorite Disney movie.
I love it.
Is Lion King. Favorite Pixar movie is
Toy Story. Yeah. Yeah. And I just love them
all of the Toy
I love
Stories.
them all. So we're going to go hang out. We're going to have a good time. We're going to see all of our lovely people.
All of our Barry friends.
Yes. I cannot wait.
I love going to Florida because there's so many bariatric friends there. It's insane.
Yeah. It's so weird that we have so many people there.
We have more friends on the East Coast.
We really do. We really do. Maybe we should move to Florida. Okay. Well,
I'm like, I don't know.
She doesn't like that idea. I would love to be next to Disney all the time.
All the time. I get that. That's totally like
I would get an annual pass.
Yep.
And I would just go all the time.
You know, I would go more on like hang out with friends, like just like random days.
Yeah.
And use it more like, or a date night, use it for that, like those little things.
Yeah.
And go to like Disney Springs and have a good time. Like,
I love that you're learning all the lingo.
I am.
Yeah. She just said Disney Springs.
And I want to say, Katie, if you're listening, Toy Story 4 is still good. It did not ruin your childhood.
No, it did not. It is not an abomination. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We've dealt with that. So now let's get into the episode, guys. Okay. So I was looking on Instagram, like we do, because we're always there. I saw something and I, for the life of me, cannot remember what I saw, but it sparked this idea.
Okay.
And I brought it to Mel.
Yep.
And I said, what do you think about doing this for our next episode? And she was all on board. Because
I was like, yeah.
Before we had surgery, we were not aware.
God, I wasn't aware of a lot of things.
Right?
It's so wild.
Like, it's so crazy how unaware we were of not only like the foods we were eating, but the people we were friends with, the toxic behaviors we were doing.
To ourselves and others.
Yeah, the diet culture behaviors. Yep. And then also just not aware of like what we were doing to ourselves.
Yeah.
I think that's what got me.
I was so unaware.
Yes.
I had no idea all the beer I was drinking was actually making me gain weight. That's one of them.
It's crazy because I don't think I even thought.
So you know what my disconnect was?
Okay.
So before surgery, I didn't count anything I drank as food. So I never considered it as something that would like make me gain weight or anything.
Interesting.
I was like, oh, I'm just going to pee it out. We're good.
So question about that, because, Mel's logic is an interesting place to be.
It is. It is.
When people, like, you heard the term beer belly.
Yes. My dad had one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you think that
I was thinking, okay, so my dad, as far as I've always known, he was actually born with an extra large liver. I don't know if you ever knew that.
I didn't.
Yes. He actually wanted to join the military when all that Vietnam shit was happening. And he couldn't go because of his extra large liver. They denied him.
What does an extra large liver do?
I don't really know.
Okay.
I just know it's bigger. That's why I was like, I would think.
I'm like, does that deter you from like being in the, like, I guess I don't understand why that would deter you.
My dad was also 5'4". They probably, I don't know, there's probably like a height thing and a
we have watched it, Captain America.
Yeah.
So a height thing is there. Yeah.
It is
Anyways,
there, damn it.
Anyways, go ahead.
But what I understood, because now I even knew this before going to surgery, that your liver lays over your stomach. Like it's
okay.
You know, remember how we watch those, how it's like liver first and they have to like liver extract and there's your tummy. So
liver extract?
Yeah.
They extract your liver?
I mean, they move it.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't physically extract it.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that for all those people
if
out
they
there
take
like,
your
what?
liver?
They take my liver?
If they take your liver, by the way, you're dead immediately. So let's not do that.
Yeah.
But no, they move it. So yes, I was assuming my dad, I was just thinking that like, oh, his liver's just big. And he was a drinker. So I just thought that was the deal because it was hard.
Yeah.
Remember? His tummy was hard.
Yeah.
So I just assumed that's what it was.
Oh my gosh.
You know, it's kid logic. You just don't think about it.
I mean, we had a lot of logic that did not make sense.
No.
Before surgery. We had a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
Did not understand it.
Only the one time that I realized that it was like beer was doing that is literally Eric's math that he does when it comes to beer. And he was just like, he would say there's always a pork chop at the end of a beer. And his dad would say that too. And I asked him one time, I was like, what does that even mean? And he goes, there's the same amount of calories in a pork chop that there is in a beer. And I was like, oh,
that's interesting.
This makes more sense. And then it clicked like, oh, this is really fucking with me.
Well, yeah, especially if you're drinking as many as you were.
Yeah. And the fact of like, once I moved out, you know, you were there. I was drinking. And my dad finally said, he's like, oh, looks like you're getting a beer belly. And he said it straight to me. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, he's like, normally you're flatter than that. And I was like, oh,
that's detrimental.
I know. My parents have commented on my body several different ways.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So
that stuck with you.
Sure did. It kind of didn't because I just remembered it while we were talking. So
subconsciously, I think it stuck with you.
Oh, 100%. Like it's there. I'm like, oh, beer. I think that's probably why I'm like, okay, you probably did this too. My belly can't get bigger than my boobs.
Oh, I hated that.
Remember that? It was like, I'm fine as long as my belly doesn't get bigger than my boobs.
I mean, I can attest to that. I was very, very excited when I had surgery and I could lay down and I did not see my belly over my boobs.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, laying down, that's a lie all in itself.
Oh, it is. You get really flat.
Yeah. And so like, I'm like, oh, I have hip bones. They're in there.
They're in there.
Because that was always my metric.
Oh, hip bones are amazing.
I wanted to be able to see my hip bones.
Yep.
And so when you lay down, you can see the hip bones because everything just like splooshes out to the side, right? So can you imagine how big I was if I could lay down and see my belly over my boobs?
Yeah. Because I mean, and I was bigger than you, but I guess
you were flatter.
Boobs, yeah.
You were flatter.
I was flatter because like I don't know. I need to start doing this again. Just 100 sit-ups every morning.
You did.
It was just something I did.
Yep.
I don't know where that started from, but I was like.
Well, and you have a very solid morning routine now.
I do.
I feel like you could start adding.
Yeah, I started adding push-ups. Like, you remember how I was like,
oh, okay.
I need to do fucking push-ups. This is stupid. So, squirrel moment. I tried on my fucking Bridgerton dress.
Oh, yeah.
I tried on my Bridgerton dress and it did not fit. And it was because of my back. And that's my problem is that now my weight is gaining in my back. So by the way, guys, when you get older or have this surgery or have any surgery actually, like
and
when
you
regain, weight goes in different spots than it was before.
Yeah. And
I've heard that, but I didn't know like what that actually meant. I thought I would just see it more in my thighs or my hips, but it's coming in my back. What the fuck? So,
I mean, mine, you can attest to the fact I always had thinner legs.
Yes.
Always had thinner legs. I was like a apple on toothpicks, kind of.
Yeah, chicken legs.
Yeah, chicken legs. Good.
Chicken legs.
Yeah, because I don't have curves. I don't have hips. I don't have a butt. I'm not doing squats, guys. I'm not. I'm just not.
She should.
I refuse. I will not. I'm out. If it includes a squat, I'm out. So
never do hip hop dancing then.
No.
One time I did over 50 squats in one song.
I do not dance.
I know, but it's for exercise. When you're all in a group setting, it's fun. Anyways,
no. I refuse.
Okay.
Anyways, so when I regained, I gained in my thighs.
Yeah.
And I had never had that happen.
Right.
So I was having to go up in jeans very rapidly.
Yeah.
And I did, or squeeze myself into super stretchy jeans.
That's what we always do.
Yeah. But I gained it in my thighs. So now you're gaining it in your back, which you've never had.
Nope.
So it's
Nippity nope.
Yep. So all of you guys out there, remember, are you feeling a little sluggish? Little lack of protein? Little lack of caffeine? Well, we got the fix for that.
That's right. Dive Bar Nutrition has the best protein bars. They have caffeine, protein, and they taste delicious.
So head on over to divebarnutrition.com and use code OSLP at checkout. If you lose weight and regain some, it might not be in the same spot. So your metric of like, as if I can still fit into my jeans, I'm good.
Right.
May not work.
Because I tried that. I just did that.
Yeah.
And so I did add the push-ups. So like this morning I did 20 and I'm just doing them on my counter. So like I just lean and do it.
I loved that you showed me that.
Isn't it easy? And it's fun.
So easy. And I'm just like, I can do this. Like,
because I'm like, I don't have to do a fucking like a real push-up on the ground. Like as long as I'm moving these arms in the back, like doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, at least start somewhere.
I mean, if there's like a workout coach out there, let us know if there makes a difference. If you have to do a real one or can you do it on a counter?
I mean, it still exerts me.
I mean, Dad Rob's listening.
Yes. Dad Rob, tell us.
Give us like an inkling of like, does it matter?
Right.
Yeah.
And then I want to do the Moby song, Green Sally Up. Green Sally Down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to go up.
Oh, like I don't know that fucking song.
Oh yeah, you do. It's from Gone in 60 Seconds.
For all you out there, Gone in 60 Seconds is my all-time #1 favorite movie. I know every single goddamn word to that movie.
She does. I do too, actually.
Love it.
Because of you.
Yeah, we watched it a lot.
I love that movie too.
Yeah.
And like I can just do the up and downs and then do my push-ups. That's how I want to. Yeah. I've done it once in our hip hop class.
Okay.
Yeah. And dude, when you're like, because sometimes the hold is really good. It's like 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And you're like, fucking say up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We should do a challenge where you do that song.
We can do that.
I would do it.
You do that?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I don't mind the push-ups like when you're I really don't mind push-ups.
No.
Good. It's like sit-ups. Like I don't mind sit-ups.
I don't mind sit-ups either.
Crunches, guys, not sit-ups.
Oh, I do full sit-ups.
Crunches. We don't do sit-ups over here.
Because crunches work the top of your abs, and then sit-ups work more of the lower abs because you have to push all the way up.
That's stupid.
But also that's why I like leg lifts when you lay on the ground and have the legs come up to you and down.
Yeah, I don't mind those either.
That works your lower half as well.
Okay, so I could do crunches and leg lifts and it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just got to find things that you like.
I don't mind those. Yeah. I'm not going to say I like them because I don't like working out.
I love that you're now admitting it.
Yeah, I just don't like it.
Now coming out like the last few months of being like, you know what? I don't fucking like it.
I don't like it.
No.
You can't make me.
We cannot. I just don't want you to have the Ozempic face and butt.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's fine.
Yeah. I think as long as you're moving, you'll be fine.
And I am always moving. Yeah. I am always up doing things like we're always doing things on the weekends, walking around, like especially when we go on trips.
Oh, yeah.
We're always moving. So I think the only place that we don't really do that is Connie's.
No, we don't.
Because we just sit and talk and chill.
We do. And puzzle.
And puzzle. I love puzzling.
I love puzzling too.
Guys,
that's a new love after going to Connie's last summer.
Yeah, I have to tell you this. So, guys, I'm officially an adult.
Are you?
I'm old.
Are you old?
I'm old.
Why are you old?
My gauge for being old. I bought a puzzle mat.
You did. I told you to.
Bought, and I was excited for that.
Yeah.
For said puzzle mat. Like,
doesn't mean you're old.
I could not wait for it to get to my house so I can puzzle. I want to puzzle, guys.
I think that's fine. It's a good outlet.
I don't think that it's wrong. I think it's a great outlet, right? Keeps my hands busy. I'm not like
wanting to eat,
not wanting to eat, stuff my face. The thing is, do you remember in your 20s ever being excited for puzzling?
Nope.
We're old.
We're old.
We are now old. That is the gauge, guys. If you order a puzzle mat, you are old. If you go on vacation and buy puzzles and put them together, you are old.
Well, I mean, I've been old for a long time. I bring my own tea everywhere. Even to restaurants. I'm like, just bring me hot water. And then I grab my own tea bags.
I mean, I will say that I was always the person that had tissue. I have tissue stashed. And I used to do this.
We have old lady. No, you didn't.
Yeah, but you didn't see it.
No.
Because I would do this.
That is hilarious.
So I would tuck it right here, guys.
Okay, if you're not watching this, this is on you.
Oh my God. Yeah. I've always been more old.
So can I tell you the first time? Okay, we're going to be cool squirrels. And then we'll get back to the topic of putting shit in our mouth that we weren't aware of.
That's what she said.
Because I have to tell you, the moment I realized I was a woman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
So woman content here. Little situation. Okay, so there is a Halloween party at Progressive.
Okay.
So of course I dress up.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah.
And I got everybody else to dress up. So it'd be really rude if I didn't dress up. So I'm wearing, wearing my Spanx, wearing my underwire bra.
Okay.
Right. I'm all sucked in, got my dress on. And we do the whole Halloween party.
Okay.
And then everybody kind of just stayed in their stuff. Because it was an afternoon party. And we were supposed to leave at 5. So we were done around 2. And I was just like, I'm not doing this. I'm not wearing these Spanx anymore.
Yeah.
So when you, as an adult woman, go into a bathroom and literally take off Spanx and readjust yourself, that's how you know you're a woman.
I have a great mental picture of this.
Yeah, right? Me trying to get it all, and not make noises in the bathroom and struggling. I was so sweaty afterwards. I was like, yep, I am officially a woman. This just happened at work in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Totally rechanged and then went back to work like nothing happened.
I also think that when you are a woman and you get home and the first thing you do is change and take off your bra.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you know you're a woman.
Yep.
When you're like,
taking them
I
off.
can't do this anymore. And you take off your bra and you put on comfy clothes. You look like a homeless person.
Instantly. I know. My brother thought I was mad at him because I instantly came back from the party with for Dylan's birthday party.
Yeah.
And then I went right into joggers in a hoodie.
Yeah.
And he's like, something wrong? Did I upset you for anything? And I was like, why would have you upset me to change? I'm just like,
I mean,
I'm in my house.
I even go as far as bringing those things to other people's houses so I can change.
Yeah, I bring slippers to people's houses now.
I mean, I have a Stitch onesie that I keep at my house and Zach's house.
Yeah, why not?
And I just wear the Stitch onesie.
Yeah. Are you naked inside?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she says.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I love that. Okay, back to being aware.
Back to being aware. So that whole beer belly thing, I realized I am drinking because I'm drinking and it's really affecting me.
It's affecting your weight.
But it took me so long to even realize it.
How long do you think?
Probably till I was 20, 21. Yes, I was underage.
Yeah, we were.
Because my husband at the time, well, not at the time, actually, I was just with him. He's 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
So, he's drinking. Of course I'm drinking.
Yeah.
It was in my own house, but I definitely gained some weight because we walked everywhere. That's what saved my ass was I've always been a bigger woman, but we walked literally up and down Kaiser and Salem and did all the things.
Yeah,
so,
we were constantly out and about and doing
once
things.
the walking stopped, the gain started. But I didn't even put the 2 to 2 together until after surgery, really. Because that's when I really looked at what was I doing.
Yeah.
So, guys, beer, alcohol really fucks with your body. It doesn't let your body actually heal very well or quickly. It makes you gain weight. It takes your metabolism lower. It does a whole sorts of things.
Yeah. I think when I noticed after surgery, what I was doing before. Because here's the thing is you're not going to realize it until you stop the behavior. And you have to stop the behavior because you can't continue that through pre-op and post-op.
No, you can't.
So I think the biggest thing for me is I would choose coffee over anything.
Yes, you will. Still to this day.
I've gotten better. I now go to tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because another thing why I'm old, if I drink a cup of coffee after I've already had my cup of coffee, I get jittery. Fucking stupid.
I love it.
I don't know. Why do I have to get old? I just want to be young at heart forever. Forever, guys.
Well, we'll always be young at heart.
True. That's a good point.
Because I don't even feel old.
I don't.
At all. Until we do old lady shit.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, yeah. Okay.
So I think what it was is that I would basically drink a salted caramel mocha, especially in the winter when it would come out, every day, if not sometimes twice a day, if I was out. Like, can you imagine how many calories is in that coffee? I did not, like, in my brain, I was like, oh, yeah, it has sugar in it, but it's not that bad.
Right. You just don't assume that it's that bad.
I want to Google it so bad.
I know you do. But here's the deal is it's from our family, at least mine. My parents really come from the actual years of where whatever's on TV and whatever they give you, like they vetted it and it's real and it's true.
And it's good.
And it's good. And so they never assumed that your salted caramel mocha was going to be probably in the thousands of fucking calories and had all these sugars. A lot of the older generation really believed in the companies and in the products and just thought that they were giving us things that were good for us.
Just like the non-fat or no fat, all of that craze.
When that craze happened in the 90s, I remember my mom switching to non-fat, low fat, no MSG, all these random things, and nothing changed in our house. Like, we still all were the same bigger people.
Well, because at the same time, she's buying Gushers, Pop-Tarts.
I know. Like,
shake and bake for pork chops, oil to fry up the pork chops. Like
the battered pork chops.
Yeah, the battered pork chops. I'm telling you, they were amazing.
They were delicious, but there's a reason.
Yeah, and this was a weekly occurrence.
Yeah,
we daily occurrence that you were consuming these Gushers and Pop-Tarts and deep fried pork chops and all of the things. So it doesn't matter if you put no fat sour cream in your fridge.
Yeah.
That's why it has to be an overhaul.
It has to be overhaul. It can't just be these certain ingredients because literally if you take the case in point of like my family, they felt like mentally felt better because they're like, oh, I'm doing good. I got these things. That's what everyone's saying to do. Low sodium.
Yeah.
And I still remember my mom getting my dad frozen meals and just getting low sodium thinking that was fine, like the banquet meals and things like that. And it's so not until you literally flip it over and look at what you're putting in your body. You're like, oh fuck. Like, I now think about it, like I probably put at least 2,000 to 3,000 calories in my body a day.
Oh, if not more.
It's because of the sodas and all like the fried food I was eating. Like, it's pretty wild. Like, and we would eat so much. Like, and I remember I was talking about this right before we hopped on of the whole, like, okay, I'm going to go to Olive Garden today.
I'm going to go to the never ending pasta bowl.
Yep. I know I'm going. And so you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to eat all day long.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to save all the calories.
All of it. And I'm going to like make sure I can eat so much. Yep. And then like you eat so much and then you're fucking in pain.
Yeah. Like you're in pain, but then say you go with your friends.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go with your friends to Olive Garden, you all stuff yourselves, and then you decide to go to the bar. Or you go to a house party. Or you go to these things where not only have you eaten so many calories, it's probably good for at least 4 days.
Yep.
And then, I want to go back just a second.
Yeah.
So not only were we eating pasta, and I know we've talked about it in the past, but we are drinking on top of that. We are eating garlic bread that is dipped in Alfredo sauce. We are eating a salad that we think a salad
is good for you.
Right? It's good for you. It's vegetables.
Until you soak it in ranch.
Yes. And cheese.
And cheese.
So all of those things were consumed. And that's why I say it's good for like 3 or 4 days.
Because it really is.
It really is.
It really is.
And then you go into like, okay, so let's go out to the bar. And then you consume what, 5 or 6 drinks there.
Yep. Because you want to keep up with everyone.
But so you're not just taking shots where it's like minimal calories, right?
Right. Not back then.
No.
Nope.
We were getting,
full
sex
drinks
on a beach. We were getting all of these drinks that have as much sugars, I believe, in them.
My favorite was Washington apples.
I don't think I ever had a Washington apple.
Oh, it's so good.
Huh.
But, yeah, because it's apple whiskey. And it's a whole drink with that. It's like fruit punch, I think. I can't remember what it was.
Cider with Maker's Mark.
Eric loved that too.
That tracks.
That tracks.
I loved it. I thought it was so good.
Right? It's good. And I actually had that too. And I think it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But like, think about that. Like a cider with another, like a shot inside.
And I wasn't just like, I remember a night where I actually drank a whole pitcher by myself.
Oh shit.
Of Maker's Mark and cider.
Holy shit, Kellie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't talk. I could drink a 12-pack. That was my problem.
Yeah. So you're consuming all of those calories.
Yep.
But you saved yourself all day to eat, right? And then you're going out, say you have 5 or 6 drinks. So then you are really eating enough calories for probably 5 days.
It's insane.
And we were not aware of what we were doing.
No, because they never, like school didn't teach us. Like, yes, we had a health class.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a nutrition class.
No.
It didn't tell you the effects of what certain foods do for your body.
Well, because they didn't know.
Like, they know. They just don't want to share.
Well, at that time, I don't think it was common knowledge like it is now.
You're right. Because they didn't want to listen to like the nutritionists and dietitians. They were just like, nope. This is what we have been doing forever.
Yep.
So we're just going to keep doing it. And it's like, no, actually, it's not working.
Well, it's still not working because if you think about what's in the schools today,
they still
that
don't
kids
have
are
that.
eating. Like it's literally just slop. It's pizza. It's hamburgers. It's nachos. And this is not like the good nachos, guys. This is chips and cheese.
Yeah.
Like this is not good.
Yeah, it's just chips and queso.
Yeah, it boggles my mind.
It's just interesting because like we didn't have it in school.
We still don't have it in school.
Our family thought we did.
Yeah.
So they didn't teach us anything. They just kept doing what they know. And like and also parents don't want to be corrected. I know, I'm a parent. And we hate being corrected. It sucks because you're like, I guess I am wrong. And maybe we should start eating blah, blah, blah. But you still have to get the whole family on board. And some of these families, like my brother, has like 5 children. So it's like, okay, how do you get like a house of 7 all on the same same plane, same page?
And I think that's where the struggle comes from.
It 100% comes from that because I've learned from just doing the surgery, you have to have that whole, like that first year at least, everybody on board.
Yeah.
Because that first year is huge. Like you start like changing your behaviors in there. You start bringing in good food then. And if you don't like make different meals for people, then everybody gets on board and starts liking all the different things. So that way,
that's
like
the thing is that you can change it.
You can. And like it will keep year 2 a little bit easier, year 3 a little bit easier because we're learning, which I love because I am 8 years out and I'm just seeing it with everybody. Like they're like, I don't think the first year's hard. It's fucking year 3 or 4. And it's like, yes, it is. 100% because you have to trust yourself, which is really hard to do sometimes.
Very hard.
Especially about food.
Yeah. Because I mean, think about where we were. We didn't trust ourselves around food.
No.
There was a reason why we took all of that out of our houses.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times I cleaned out my house.
Yeah.
And just tossed everything and then slowly it leaked back in.
Yep. And especially when you live with someone else that's not on the same page.
Yeah. And
they bring the stuff in the house.
Correct. Yeah. I think that's what's so hard when, I mean, I don't have kids. I don't have like, I'm a single person.
Yeah.
But like you had Dylan and Eric, but I think that's what's so difficult when you go through this surgery and you have a family.
Yep.
Everybody has to be on board.
Yeah.
It means 2 people, 4 people, 7 people, however many people, they all have to be on board. And in my opinion, if the kids don't like the food, they'll get hungry.
Yep. Like, I know it sounds mean, and I know some parents, it's like a very unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
But no, guys, it's okay if they don't like what you eat. Eventually they're gonna eat. They will. They'll be like, fine, fuck it. I'm gonna eat this shit.
Yeah.
I've seen it just with little kids. Like, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to. And then an hour later, 2 hours later, they're like, oh, I guess I'll have that on my plate.
Yeah, because I think that it's easier with small children because you definitely make the choices.
Yep.
But I also think it's harder because you're like, oh, well, they eat Uncrustables or they eat Gushers or they eat, okay, but would they eat it if you didn't buy it?
Well, that's what I was going to say is, hey, I hear all the time, well, the little kids, they need their cereal. They need their Pop-Tarts and they need the whatevers. And I'm like, actually,
they don't.
They don't. And what I've noticed is that, like, once we have the surgery, it's like, this is how we were supposed to eat in the first place. And that's why the whole, like, everybody has to be on board, because guess what? They're not supposed to be having Pop-Tarts or Gushers or cereal. Like, after someone told me that cereal is just dog food for kids, I was like, holy shit. It definitely is. It's literally a bowl of sugar that you're just giving them. And it's like, okay, guys, if we started giving them eggs and like some sausage or even a yogurt, just something different, they're going to slowly, within like a month or two, want those things.
Yes.
Because we know that just personally. Once it's out of your system, you don't actually want it anymore until you put it back in your mouth.
I think that it's definitely an unpopular opinion that kids don't need these things. These cereals that they need are full of sugar.
Yeah.
They're full of carbs. And I'm not saying they can never have it, right?
No.
Like, I think it's acceptable, like, to have, like, if you go on vacation, they get to have that cereal at that buffet or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But they aren't getting any protein.
No.
They're getting a little bit of protein from the milk.
That's it.
And that's it.
And some kids hate milk.
Yeah. So really, you're not doing them any favors. Like, by saying, oh, well, they need their cereal. They need these Pop-Tarts. No, it's literally just butter and sugar, guys.
Well, you gave it to them. That's why they need it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's ridiculous. Like, it's like they don't need it.
They wouldn't eat it if it wasn't in the house.
Yep. Because my mom would do that. Like, oh, Michael's picky. He has to have his.
No, he's picky because you allow it.
Yeah. It's like, Mom, if you just didn't buy it, then it wouldn't be in the house and then you wouldn't fucking eat it. Like, that's literally how easy it is.
Yeah. And I feel like I just feel like there is too much coddling when it comes to food. And I was coddled when I was a kid. I know you were coddled with food.
Yep. I was given it for coping.
Exactly.
Give Melanie some ice cream or 2 pork chops and rice and she'll be fine.
And looking back, I would have rather somebody said, we don't eat those things.
So much easier. Not the whole, I can't, like, we just can't afford that. I don't like the whole you can't afford it situation, because I came from my mom and I hear it in stores all the time. But it's like, no, just say we don't eat that.
Yep.
That's just something that we don't eat.
Yep.
And that's it.
Like, I remember my mom only bought Lunchables when we were going on a field trip.
See?
That was the only time I got a Lunchable.
Yeah.
And guess what? I don't have a problem with Lunchables.
No, and I think if you keep it like that, we're like, okay, hey, we're celebrating. Like, say, like, we're going to celebrate Travis. Travis got his electrical license and we're going to celebrate with him. So, like, something like that, we're like, okay, this is where you have your cupcake. Yeah. We don't have it at the house. We have it at celebration. So just keeping it separate and like talking to the kids. I just wish I was talked to more.
Yeah.
But also my parents didn't know. They only did as good as what they knew.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't no, I do blame them, but I'm not mad at them. There's no like frustration anymore. It's like, oh yeah, like they just didn't know.
Well, and I think the question comes down to, like, do you want to do that to your kids?
Right.
Do you want to coddle them with food and not let them understand what is going into their body?
Yeah.
Over just having them throw a tantrum because they can't have cereal.
Well, even like last week, Dylan was going to go out to dinner with his girlfriend. So I was like, okay, well, what have you had so far today was the question. And he's like, well, nothing. I'm not hungry. And I was like, it's 1:00. Why haven't you ate yet? And he's like, I'm just not hungry. I was like, okay, well, what time are you going to dinner? He's like, yeah, I think I'm just going to save it for dinner. And I go, nope, we're not doing that. And he's like, what? I'm like, you need to eat some sort of protein stat. And he's like, why are you so concerned? And I'm like, because I have learned if you save it for that last meal, it just sticks to you. Like we have learned that your body thinks you're in starvation mode. So whatever you eat when you're in starvation mode,
that makes
sticks
sense
to your body. And now it's like 10 times harder to lose it. So if you can just have a couple things of protein before you go to dinner, you're going to feel a lot better. Because that's the thing is like, I now know if I eat my protein throughout the day, then when I have a dinner, say with you and our friends, I actually stop where it doesn't hurt now.
Yes.
And it's interesting because before I wouldn't. I would just keep going and going and going and shove it in my mouth. And now I'm like, that is what she said. And now I actually like mindfully, like I just slowly eat, talk, hang out. And it's not about how much anymore.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest tips that we have discovered for eating out post-op.
Yeah.
Is eat something before you go.
Yeah.
Because our systems after surgery also process faster. Okay. So if you eat something before you go, then when you get there, you're not going to be starving. So you're going to make better decisions.
Yes.
And then by the time the food gets to the table, you're going to be hungry again.
You will. Like the time is there for you to get hungry again.
Yeah.
Like, because Aunt Nene got annoyed with me that I ate something before we went out to dinner. It was like 2 hours before. And I was like, Nene, I'm hungry right now. And she's like, but you're going to eat. And I go, I know. But like by the time, if I eat now, by the time I get there, then I'll just be regular hungry.
Yeah.
I won't be like, or hangry. I don't want to feel like that.
No. Why would you want to feel like that?
Because
so make good decisions when you go out to eat. Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No. And I think now that we are looking at it, it's like, we never knew how things really made us felt. It was either you're fine or you're just really stuffed. But now after surgery, like you're listening to your body, you're in tune with your body. And so now I know what foods are doing what. Like I know if I've had too much salt, I'm a little more bloaty, you know, like my face gets a little more puffy. If I don't drink enough water, same thing, puffy face.
Yep. For me, it's the puffy feet.
Oh, mine's face. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I don't see the veins and stuff in my feet, I know I haven't drank enough water.
See,
I'm retaining.
And before, did you know that?
No.
See, that's the thing. Like you have to just listen.
I was not aware of what I was doing and the direct side effect of what I was doing.
Yep.
The awareness was not meeting.
No, we didn't know that. I know for personally, I can't speak for you, but I knew when I put food in my body, there was no connection there.
No, none.
All I wanted was the mouth pleasure. And that's it. And I wanted it to keep going.
You need to say that more often.
Mouth pleasure?
Yes.
Because that's really what it is. And I love that Joe Rogan fucking said that like years ago, because it makes me sometimes go, I talk to myself when I'm like wanting that food. And I'm like, wait, do I want this for mouth pleasure? Or do I want this because like I need this? Or am I sad, lonely, whatever the halt is?
Yeah, because there is a direct correlation between what you're feeling, what you're craving.
Yep. We've learned that now.
We were not aware of that prior to having surgery.
Not at all.
There was not a connection there. I can definitely feel like I was the same way. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, let's be honest. I ate shit food.
We did. And it was interesting because no one ever said like, hey, you should probably not eat that. I don't think I've ever had someone say that to me.
Which is good and bad all in the same.
I've only heard it after bariatric surgery.
Oh my God. People need to.
Yeah. Because they're like, should you be eating that?
You had surgery.
That seems a little too much for you. Oh, okay. You think so? Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Super nice of you to point that out. It's still smaller than anything I've ever ate before.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I think the other thing I realized too, after speaking of eating out, was that I didn't have to have a side.
Oh, right? I didn't even think that was an option.
I was not aware that I could make the choice with my own meal that I'm paying for.
Right? Yeah. It's like so funny.
I can now order things and be like, they'll be like, do you want rice? Do you want potato? I'm like, nothing. Because I just want the protein.
Yep.
Like, that's all I want. and maybe a couple bites of veggies. Maybe sometimes I want a few bites, like a few fries or something.
Mm-hmm.
But guaranteed somebody else at the table is going to have fries.
Yep.
I don't need to have fries on my plate.
You need to have your own fries. Nope.
Because I need to focus on the protein that's on it.
Yep.
I need to, I never made that correlation.
Mm-mm.
Like, I can't tell you how many times I ate pasta with pasta sauce, and that was it.
Yeah, no protein.
There's zero protein in that. I think that's awareness all in itself for me, was I did not know that protein played such a big part.
Not at all. Not fucking at all. I love science and health, and I even did anatomy and physiology.
Mm-hmm.
Did not know about the 11 amino acids that make a complete protein, and you only get 9 of those through veggies, and if you eat a meat, then you get all 11. Like, I had no idea.
I had no clue.
Fucking clue. It's wild.
It's crazy to me that it's just such a big part of us not only losing weight and being healthy, but like our body runs on it.
It does.
Like,
it lives and breathes on protein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, of course, you need other things, right? You need the vitamins and nutrients that you get from vegetables. You need the sugars and the stuff from healthy carbs to bring it, like, to give you energy.
Yep.
I didn't know that. Like,
no.
I can't tell you how many times I had a meal and there was zero protein in it.
I wish I could. I mean, not that I wish I could say that. Mine always had some sort of protein. I love meat.
But you don't like pasta.
I don't.
And I fucking love pasta.
You do.
There's a reason why I do not eat pasta all the time now. Like, it's a very few and far between.
That's one of your foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. Like, I could eat it every day, all day. Like, there's something about pasta.
There's something about
like,
pasta.
I would choose pasta over bread any day.
No way. No way, Jose.
Good pasta.
I will do bread all day long.
Good pasta, not Kraft macaroni and cheese.
You know,
but I also ate that a lot.
You did.
We always had Kraft macaroni and cheese at my house.
Yep.
And sometimes I would put cut up hot dogs in it. Sometimes I would put a can of chili in it.
Oh, there you go.
Because my mom would, that's how my mom would.
I like chili.
I like chili too.
Yeah. But not hot dogs and chili. I don't like that.
Hot dogs and chili?
Hot dogs in chili.
Who does that?
Well, what you just said, that you would have mac and cheese with hot dogs.
No, macaroni and cheese with hot dogs, or macaroni and cheese and chili.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you don't.
I thought you were blending all of that.
No.
I mean, I think my brother has. I think
tracks.
I think dudes put hot dogs in anything.
I like hot dogs and I like them in my macaroni and cheese, but it's got to be Kraft macaroni and cheese. It's those old, like, childhood. It comes back to your childhood,
it
guys.
Does.
Like, that's
comforting
why
food.
I like that, is because that's what my mom gave me. That was an easy, cheap meal for her to give us. And I get it that we were broke. I get that she was working her ass off to go back to college so she could afford better things for us. But that's why I like it, because it was cheap, it was easy, and she would do that.
I love it. I love that she did that, though.
And now I've made the connection. So stop saying that your kids need these things.
No.
They do not. They need to be aware of what happens when they eat those things.
Well, what kids need is for you to be the parent, and you say what goes in and out of their mouth, basically, for the first 10 years of their life. You are responsible for that kid. They're on the grid. They have a fucking number and a name.
On the grid.
They're on the fucking grid, man. So you are the role model.
Yeah.
100%. So let's stop acting like we're not. It's not our fault.
Yeah.
It is. It 100% is. I have a chubby kid. I love him to death, but it's because I let things in the very beginning. And he knows now certain things should just not be in the house. He gets
seems to be stable right now.
He's stable. Yeah. I think when Dylan has a girlfriend, he's stable.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. Sorry to cut you off. I just had that thought process.
You're totally fine. But yeah, it's it is. Parents hate to hear it, but it's just you are the one that has to choose these things.
Yeah.
Don't let your kids run your house. You are a parent. You run that motherfucking house. They do what you say. and until they're fucking 18. And I know that's rough. And really the reason why we say they need this and just buy it is because we want an easy job. It will shut them up. It will make them happy. And then we don't have to deal with the fussing and fighting.
Yep.
But guess what, guys? The fussing and fighting only happens for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just like training when they go to like sleeping on their own finally in their own crib or in their own bed. It only happens for a few nights and then they're fine.
And they learn. They adjust. That's like the nature of being human.
Well, that's what I love about kids is that they're so malleable. Like you can teach them anything.
Yep.
You can show them all the things. And as long as you make it fun and exciting, they'll do whatever. Yeah. So if you make that broccoli fucking amazing, and they will always love it then because then they had a fun time with the parents making broccoli together. Yeah. You know,
I mean, I wish there were more times that I could think of like that I was cooking with my mom and like learning these things.
And I think that's key too is hands-on. Yeah. Cook with your kids. Yeah. I know that it takes a little bit longer. Yeah. Maybe don't do it every day, but just pick like a couple days a week. Yeah. That you do hands-on and you guys cook together and you talk about why you put these things with this. And I think more hands-on of knowing where your food come from, like even doing tours of like gardens, like you can go to gardens around, well, at least in Oregon, you can. Yeah. I don't know where you're at, but we can go to gardens and really look at like what things come from. I think there's just too much of a disconnect of food to our mouth and like farm to store. It's like you hear it all the time.
You know, speaking of that, I actually saw, I'm going to go to Disney because, you know, that's my brain.
That's her love.
I just saw this thing. So in Epcot, there is a thing where it's actually like living off the land type of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay, so they have all these vegetables and fruits that are grown in this ride. Nice. Right? And so I actually learned that they take that. We did not do that. You might need to go back.
Why didn't we do that?
Because I didn't know it was a thing.
Oh, well, Jamie had to. She's a Disney freak too. How do you guys not know this one?
And you might have to go back to Epcot.
Nope. You can take video.
Anyways, so the thing is like they take these fruits and vegetables and they're used in restaurants and on the Disney property.
That's awesome.
Like that's really cool because then these kids can know like these food, like I think at the base of it, it's passing on the awareness that you did not have.
Yes, that is key.
Right?
That is key.
Don't justify it. Don't fight it. Just pass on your awareness. Like I now know, I mean, honestly, when the girls say like, my head hurts or I'm so hungry, they're like, yes, I drank water. Yes, I ate protein because those are my questions, right? Yep. But when I came into their lives 3 years ago, they didn't say that.
Not at all. And it's funny because now they hear you. Dylan hears me too. And it's so good. That means that we have.
We are passing the awareness on.
We are passing the awareness. We have rent space in their brain of telling them water, protein. Because that we never knew that water and protein runs your fucking body.
Yeah.
And now we do.
No idea.
And I think that would be a cool class is like comparing our bodies to like cars and understanding maintenance and understanding things that we need to put in our body.
That's really cool.
I think that would be a really cool class. Maybe we need to talk to someone in Oregon about this because that would be, I know I would have loved that and it would have gone a long way on someone like me because I would have been so like amazed. And then if they took field trips, you know, it would have just been a whole gamut of changes.
I know Willamette has the vineyard out like kind of towards West Salem.
Right.
And I know that they have stuff like that.
Ooh.
Like that you can go out and like see how they do the all the stuff. Like they have, what is it? Vintner. I think it's a vintner class.
Okay.
So it's people that learn how to grow a vineyard.
Okay.
So that might be kind of cool. But I like the idea, like, because basically we are cars. And if you this is something that happens to me. If you just tell me to do something, I'm just like, I'm not fucking doing that.
She'll literally, I told her something. I was like, we just learned that you should do this. And she's like, I'm not fucking doing that. And I was like, why?
Yeah, why? Exactly. But if you make a direct correlation to bring awareness to me of saying like, if you do this, these things then happen.
Yep.
I'm more likely to be like, okay, fine, I'll do it.
Yep.
Because I know that it's good for me.
Well, and so you know the why. People need to know the why.
You have to know the why. So it doesn't matter if you just say, oh, that has protein. Oh, you need water. Why do you need protein? Why do you need water? Why do you need to stop saying bad versus good food?
Mm-hmm.
It's that awareness of like, even in your brain for yourself.
Yep.
Be aware of how you're talking about food and what you're looking at food like, because I like that we changed it to number one, food hygiene.
Yeah.
It's not a diet. It's a food hygiene.
Yep.
And the other thing is that nutrient dense, not nutrient dense.
Right. You just have to change the verbiage on how you look at things, and then your brain starts clicking.
Yeah.
Because I hate the word diet, because then I feel like we're jumping into diet culture and we're doing something wrong.
We've done so much work to get away from that.
Right. And I remember even as a 16-year-old, because my mom would always take those pills, like whatever diet pill was going on right then. And then I would take them with her sometimes. And so it's like, I can't hear the word diet without thinking of the diet pills and then of all the other diet like fads that were going on in the 90s and the early 2000s. So like that's why when I heard when I was in the hospital with Eric, they said sleep hygiene to him.
Yes.
Because they were trying to get him on a sleep pattern. And I was like, oh, I could say food hygiene. This makes more fucking sense. I love this. So we just have to look at things just differently and use different verbiage. So our brain can have new, like, I think it's called neural pathways of how you understand things.
I think you're correct.
I think so.
That's crazy. So yeah, let's just be more aware and learn from our past.
We have to.
I think we all just want to like shove our past back and just be like, we're not gonna
open that.
We're not gonna open that.
Nope.
But I think it's good to have that open and learning from that, and to see like what did not work for me as a kid.
Yeah.
What did not work for my best friend as she was a kid? So as you're trying to learn and grow and teach your kids better, because a lot of us do the surgery so you can be there for your kids long term.
100%. Or to have kids. A lot of our audience has PCOS. And if we can get you guys like smaller, then you guys might be able to have babies. Like that would be really cool. And then you can pass on the information.
Pass on the awareness, guys. Learn from your past.
Well, isn't there a saying like if you don't learn from your past, then you're just going to repeat it?
I believe what you're saying is from Lion King.
Oh, well, I love Lion King, so that makes sense.
But I think it's like if you don't learn, or what is it?
I'm sure you guys are yelling right now.
It's like it's in the past. Oh, what does he say? I can hear him say it too. Or like I could envision them in the field with the stars. It's Rafiki and Simba. God, my brain's dead today. I couldn't even remember Simba's name. Okay.
Protein for Kellie coming up.
My life has no meaning.
See, and that's a cue. We had no idea there's a cue.
There's cues for you
to eat, except for just, it doesn't have to be the growl when you have regular tummies. Like it's not just the growl. Like there is literally lightheadedness, headaches, feeling like you can't like say a full sentence sometimes. Like there's little
forgetting things that should be like
right at the top of your brain.
Yeah.
Like that's how you know you need to eat. Like you don't have to wait for your stomach to growl to eat.
No.
You don't.
No. I think the awareness also that I think it's just awareness. What are you putting in your body? What is it doing? Eating, you need protein, you need water. Like that should have been day one.
I know when they gave us that old like pyramid of food, they never talked about protein or water.
Well, they put it
it's on there,
like
but
like it's
like
on,
the meat's
there,
on there,
but like handing somebody a sheet with like, these are the foods that are in our country. Cool. Like that's essentially how I took it.
Yeah.
Was like, okay, these are the foods
that we're supposed to eat apparently.
Yeah.
And we don't have no idea why. We don't even know where half of it comes from.
I mean, they might have tried to teach it to us. I don't know. I don't remember. So that's another thing. We have to be teaching it at home because we're not going to remember everything we learned in middle school.
When I think us 90s kids and early 2000s kids realize that like school doesn't answer everything. And a lot of our parents were just hoping that they did.
Yeah. So they didn't have to cover it.
So they didn't have to talk about it. But what we're saying now is guys, talk. I'm big at like, just ask questions. Like there is no stupid question. And I know everybody hates that saying, but it's true. There really isn't. And I'll literally look at Kelly and be like, this is a funny question. I'm not quite sure. And she'll help me with it. It's not a big deal. Like you just can't be shy anymore.
Yeah. I think questions, that's a part of being aware of what you're going into, what you've been through, what you're doing.
Yeah.
Is being aware enough to ask questions.
Yep.
Because if you're not aware of what you need and what things are doing, how can you ask a question?
Right. And because we eat every day, we don't really know what happens if you don't eat these things.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. Like it's hard to know for your body what it really needs because you're just like, I eat food.
Yeah.
I have to eat food. I know that. I know I have to have water and food.
Yeah.
But you don't know of what.
And why.
And I think our brains really love the what and why.
Yeah.
For sure. For us to be more successful, I would say.
Yeah. I think, I never thought of awareness as a big part of our journey until this episode, but it really does dictate a lot of what we do after surgery.
Yeah. Because now that I'm so aware, I actually will look at food. I look at food completely different.
For sure.
Size of food. I'm like, I'll look at some of the things I used to eat. I'm like, how did I even do that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, that is not even necessary for anybody. So like, just the way you look at food changes. And that I think happened to me right around like at the end of year 1 into year 2. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I couldn't fit that. Why would I even try?
Yeah, there's no way.
And then knowing like, because you look at the protein and the carbs and stuff now, you're like, oh my God, I was putting 1,000 calories in me with just one meal. No wonder how I gained so much weight.
Yeah.
Like this makes more sense. And like, so I do like how the surgery really makes you look at it. You have to.
Yeah.
Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Even if you're not a successful bariatric patient, you still had to look at it.
Well, and I think even if you're not a successful bariatric patient, it's because you don't care about being aware.
Yeah.
I think there's a level of I don't care anymore that goes into that.
Or you think you don't matter, and that's a problem. Like you fucking matter. All of us matter. We all bring something different to the table. And when you think that you don't matter, you're thinking like, what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to I got the sleeve at least.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to work it.
But I think that's why people regain. Is because the awareness just goes.
Well, I think, and I don't know if I can speak for you on this. For me, I was fully aware, but I was like pissed that I was aware. And I wish I could be like, I wish I didn't know.
For me, it was that I just didn't want to be aware.
Yeah.
And so if I didn't think about it, then I wasn't aware of what I was doing. Like I knew I was taking in a lot of calories.
Right.
But I did not sit down and think about like, okay, so maybe we don't eat the appetizers before we eat our dinner.
Yeah, we don't do that at all anymore.
No.
Nope.
Like maybe when I go out with Zach and Chloe, like,
because
she's got to have her mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
So I'll have like one mozzarella stick.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that you say it how she says it now.
Yeah.
Mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella sticks.
Instead of mozzarella.
Yeah. But like I don't eat a full meal for appetizers and then try to stuff myself even further. I think it was that I was trying to like keep up. And even though Zach's a patient, like a bariatric patient, like he is the world's worst.
I mean, he does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. So it was weird. But I think I just didn't want to be aware.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about eating and drinking at the same time. Now, eating and drinking at the same time can work for people. But
I don't recommend it.
For me, did not work.
What's funny is like, I'm just a self-sabotager, like to the T, where I'm like, I literally have done where I'm like, okay, I want more of this. So I'm going to drink water.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink something because I want more.
I mean, how many of us have done that?
I don't know. Probably all of us.
Yeah. I don't think that's a single person thing.
Because I have done that. And that's actually a lot of my regain was like because I said fuck it and because I brought back drinking with my food. Because once I was doing that just to get more like chocolate or whatever the case was, then all of a sudden it happened with every meal just naturally. It was like, oh, yeah, we get a drink with this. Da, 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 da.
Yep.
And it's like, no, No.
I think it's very important to separate those two things out.
I think so too.
I actually think I would agree with you that was a big part of my regain.
Yeah.
Because I was drinking while I was eating.
Yep. And then you actually felt like hungry again.
Yeah, I was able to eat way more. Like I could almost finish one whole burger.
Yeah. And before it's a half. We used to share burgers.
It's like half. Yeah.
And it's interesting if we have drinks, what it does. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the thing, guys. Like awareness can hurt and help at the same time.
Yes.
So I'm just going to pitch this real quick is have a therapist help you.
Yes.
Because I think that's super needed through this journey, really through this life. But if you're going to do it at least for bariatrics.
Yeah, I am a huge supporter of therapy. I put it off for a very long time, and I am really glad I started. And I recommend it to everybody. If you're having issues with cravings, with overeating, and that's 90% of us.
That
self-sabotage, all of that. You need to see a therapist. They can help work out what and why.
The what and why again. Yep.
Yeah. Because a lot of us are not aware enough to sit and say, I am feeling lonely and that's why I'm eating.
Yep.
Maybe I should do this instead.
Correct.
Like I know if I'm having a hard time, I either eat chocolate.
Same.
Or eat something that's not good for me. And then I overeat that. Or I shop.
Mm-hmm.
I like to shop when I'm feeling out of control.
And I understand that. Eric did too.
Yeah.
Or still does.
I mean, I've gotten to the point where I do not buy everything that I put into the cart.
That's good.
So I'm learning to pare down. But I definitely see that correlation of like, I'm feeling out of control. And then my brain's like, let's go to TJ Maxx.
Well, yeah, it's that dopamine hit. You're getting that dopamine hit every time that you put something in the cart or you put something in your mouth. And that's the deal is that we really need to look because I halt now.
Yeah.
Just because we talk about it so much, I'm like, oh, yeah, hold on.
What am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way?
Why am I in front of the fridge?
Yep.
Why did I open the fridge?
Yeah.
I know what's in there. Nothing's changed.
Yeah. I just stopped opening the fridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like, unless I'm going in there to specifically eat or cook dinner or meals.
Yeah.
Mainly it's dinner. I do not open the fridge.
Yeah.
Like there has to be a reason before I even walk to the fridge to open it.
I think that's a really great behavior. To be honest.
I don't have many of them, but that is a good one.
You have one.
I have one.
You have some.
I have one.
Stop it. Don't be hard on yourself.
No, I think
don't be mean to my friend. I'm going to start saying that to you. I actually thought about it yesterday. And I was like, I'm just going to tell her that. Stop being mean to my friend.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's true. Like with your friends, like you hear them like, pick apart themselves. And it's like, no, stop it.
Well, I mean, every time you say like, oh, I'm so stupid because I did blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you're not stupid.
Instantly she says that.
You made a choice.
Yeah. Just
the choice in itself could be a dumb decision, but you are not dumb or stupid for making that choice.
Yes. I like that.
I think the choice itself because anyways. So I think being aware of the habits, aware of what you're putting in your body, what the direct correlation of what you put in your body versus how you feel. I think all of that is necessary pre-op, post-op, passing it along to your kids, passing it along to your parents, like
friends and family.
Friends and family. I think there needs to be a movement of awareness.
Well, I think we should start educating. Just like, when we get fear around holidays about what they're going to say, it's more or less, let's just educate them.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier. Because then guess what? The next Thanksgiving, they're not going to say anything.
Well, I educated my mom.
Yeah.
When she had a infection on her foot and we were talking and I was like, how much protein do you get in a day?
Yep.
And
you were concerned about the healing.
I was concerned because protein has a lot to do with your healing.
Yep.
And so she was like, I mean, maybe this. And I was like, that's not high enough. And I was like, I would encourage you to track a whole day of just protein just see what you're bringing in a normal day. And then I used Mel's thing of like, I was like, you need to buy a case of protein shakes.
Yeah.
And you need to drink a protein shake first thing in the morning because she has diabetes and you have an infection in your foot she could lose her foot.
Yeah.
And
100%.
I don't want that to happen.
No.
So so now she's like, it's funny because now she's like, oh, I had this for lunch and it's got this much protein in it.
Yeah. See?
And like, she's really learning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only because I taught her something she didn't know.
Yep.
And obviously she had no idea because she didn't teach it to me.
No. And I remember she told you that her healing was better.
Yeah, it was happening faster because she had upped her protein so much.
It's cool when like the things that we say actually work and we're not just talking out of our ass. Like this shit works.
Yeah.
Like, protein and water are life.
Yep.
That's just what it is.
Yep. And I just think it's all awareness. It's all awareness. It's all education. Like, but you can't educate people if you're not aware of the habit.
Yeah.
You can't educate people if you're not aware of what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to educate yourself, become aware yourself, so then you can pass it along to all the other people that you come in contact with.
I think that's exactly what we all need to do.
Yes.
Don't be afraid anymore. Get your confidence up.
Yeah.
Talk to people, educate people.
Yeah.
And educate yourselves and your families because a lot of it literally the trickle down effect does work and it will happen.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I think that's where we'll leave it.
Yeah. So guys, remember, go to our website. It's oursleeplifepodcast.com. Go get your merch. Go get your pillar tracker. You can become a patron just from that one page in the right-hand corner. If you don't want to go there, just go to it's patreon.com/OSLP. Become a patron because we love you and we want to hang out with you and get to know you because guess what we did this recent week? We got to celebrate a patron's birthday because their daughter lives in Oregon. So she flew here and then we all got to hang out.
Yeah.
So that's what we love is like being able to meet you in person, giving you hugs and really have an experience.
Yep.
So definitely do that. And then of course, the free way, I go to YouTube. And you just type in our name, hit the bell, and hit subscribe. And then you get to see our beautiful faces every Tuesday.
Which means we always see you next Tuesday.
Always. Kellie just loves that.
I love it. All right. We love you guys, and we will see you
next time. Bye.